So, hello, good evening, and welcome to Hatha Yoga live at 5 with me, yoga teacher Lesley Wilson. So, halfway through June already. How did that happen? I hope you all had a good weekend, and whatever you did, enjoyed. I can see a couple of people have popped on already, so that's really nice. Let's just see who we have. Oh, hello, Tina. You sent me a wave, so I'll send you one back. So we've been doing a bit of yoga in the garden, which has been really nice, although unfortunately we had quite a bit of rain at the end of last week, so that kind of messed that up a little bit for us. But hey, you know, it is what it is. So yeah, I'm just going to go have a seat and see who else pops on. So just a bit of gardening and stuff today. I had to change phones literally at the last minute. The phone that I normally record these classes on is smaller and seems to fit the whole of the mat in, so you might see me shuffling up and down a little bit trying to stay in shot. So hopefully you'll still be able to see me. I just need to remember not to stand too far towards the ends of the mat, otherwise that won't be happening. Okay, so we'll begin. Namaste and welcome. So we're going to begin with Samavriti Pranayama, which is our square breath, so breathing in and out for the count of 4 and holding the breath. I'll talk you in for a couple of rounds and then I'll leave you to work at your own pace. The key with this breath is to sit with the back as straight as possible, so if that isn't comfortable for you, sort of freestanding, then feel free to sit with the back supported, and then you'll be able to keep the back more upright. So obviously if you're rounding over, then the lungs can't work to their full capacity. And again, you don't have to be cross-legged, it's however you're comfortable. So we'll bring the hands into Chin Mudra, connecting together forefinger and thumb and extending away the other 3 fingers. So just making sure that you're comfortable, straighten the spine, lift the crown of the head, and we can gently close the eyes. So let's just take a full breath in through both nostrils. No need to count this one. And then breathe out fully through both nostrils. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm just going to leave you to work with this with your own counting now. And then no need to rush or hurry, but the next time that you breathe out for the count of 4, release Samavriti Pranayama, this square breath. Allow the breath to return to normal. We can release Chin Mudra with the hands, and then we're just going to pop down onto the mat for a short relaxation. So stretching away the legs if the lower back allows, nice big space between the heels, just allow the feet to flop apart, legs nice and relaxed. But if that's not comfortable for you for whatever reason, then you can bend the knees, take the feet nice and wide, allow the knees to just fall in together so the legs are still nice and relaxed. So we're just going to bring the arms a little way away from the sides of the body, palms turned up towards the ceiling, fingers lightly curled. And then if you wish to, you can lift the head and look down the centre of the body if the neck allows. Rest the head back down on the mat, and that just brings the head into alignment with the spine, lengthening the back of the neck. Tucks in the chin, eyes gently closed. And then just have a couple of breaths here. Checking in with the body, seeing how it feels today. Obviously, for those of you that normally join me Monday to Friday, there was no yoga on Friday. So maybe we haven't done anything for 3 days. Maybe you have, I don't know. So let's just hug the knees in towards the chest, clasp the hands around the shins, and then we're going to begin to ease out the back now. So just rocking gently from side to side, head and knees going in the same direction as we ease out the back. And then we can come into a little twist, so still rocking from side to side, but head going in one direction, knees in the other. And then we can come back to centre. We'll place the 2 hands on the kneecaps with both knees going in the same direction. We can circle the knees. So let's just draw large as we can, slow, smooth circles with those knees. So you're really warming up the hips, lower abdomen, lower spine. And then we can go back the other way. And then still circling the knees, but let's send them off in opposite directions from each other now. And then we can come back to centre. Let's place the 2 feet flat down on the mat, bringing the heels just so that they're underneath the buttocks, feet hip width apart, and then take the arms down by the sides of the body, palms facing downwards. And let's warm up the spine with a gentle pelvic tilt. So just breathing out as you round the spine, pushing the back of the waist into the mat. And as you breathe in, arch the spine, lift the back of the waist up, push down with the tailbone. Breathing out, rounding the spine, pelvis tilts forwards. And breathing in, arching the spine, pelvis tilts backwards. And then just continue in this way with your own breath. And then we can release this pelvic tilt, the activity with the spine. Bring the spine into a neutral position now, but make sure that the feet are still close to the buttocks, hip width apart, arms down by the sides of the body, palms facing downwards. And keep the face looking up towards the ceiling, especially when the hips are lifted. And then the next time that you take a breath in, push down on the soles of the feet, the backs of the arms and the shoulder blades. Lift the hips up as high as you can. And then breathing out, rolling smoothly down. Just lower the spine down one vertebra at a time. So breathing in, lifting up, making sure the head doesn't turn. Keep the face looking directly ahead. And then breathing out, rolling smoothly down. So just work with this at your own pace, with your own breathing rate. Lifting up every time you breathe in. And then rolling smoothly down as you breathe out. And then the next time that you breathe in and lift the hips up, float the hands up towards the ceiling and take them all the way back to the wall behind you. Nice big stretch. And then breathing out, lowering everything gently back down. So lower the hips and lower the arms. So breathing in, lifting up, arms up and back. And then breathing out, lowering everything gently back down. So just do a few more of these now with your own breathing. And then no need to rush or hurry, but the next time that you breathe out and lower the hips and lower the arms, you can release this activity. So we're going to work with a spinal twist now. So let's take the arms out wide at right angles to the sides of the body. Remember, if you don't have enough space, you can bend the elbows and take the hands up at 90 degrees. And then you can either leave the feet on the mat or hug the knees in closer towards the chest, whichever suits you best. And then the next time that you breathe out, take the knees over to the right. If the neck and spine feel okay with that, you can turn the face to the left and just keep breathing. And then take a breath in, come all the way back to centre. As you breathe out, take the knees over to the left and turn the face to the right. Take a breath in, come all the way back to centre. Breathing out, take the knees back over to the right and turn the face to the left. And then take a breath in, come back to centre. And breathing out, take the knees back over to the left, turn the face to the right. And then from here, we're going to roll over now and come onto our left side. So stretching away both the legs. And then you can either come up onto the left elbow, or if that doesn't suit you, extend the left arm away and just rest the head on the upper arm. So 2 straight legs, 1 foot stacked on top of the other. You can bring this right hand and rest it on the mat in front of you now. Give you a bit more balance. And then we're going to lift the right leg. So try and point those toes down towards the ground. They're not going to go all the way, but rather than having the foot sticking up, and try and, it kind of reminds me of like a martial arts kick. So you should be feeling that just here. If it gives you cramp, then obviously lower the leg slightly. And then we'll have a little bend in the left leg now. Roll back slightly onto the left hip. Then we're going to rotate the right toes up towards the ceiling. Extend that right leg up, so keep that foot flexed so you're getting a stretch up the back of the hamstring. Now you can take hold of the back of the thigh, the back of the knee, wherever suits you, or the foot, and then just draw that right leg in towards you. And then we can release that right leg, 1 foot stacked on top of the other, 2 straight legs once again. And then from here, we're going to lift both the legs. And then just aiming to keep the knees and feet lifted off the ground. We're going to hug the knees in towards the chest and use the muscles of the inner thighs to squeeze the knees in together. And then let's stretch away the legs once again. Lower both the legs now. And then we're going to bend the right leg and place the bent right leg on the mat in front of the straight left leg. And then we're going to lift the left leg. And then we'll lower the left leg. I'm going to stay on our left side. We're going to come on to work with the universal spinal twist. So I'm going to move down a little bit because I'm not sure if you can all see me still. So staying on the left side, but we're going to bring that left arm out in front of us now, straight directly out in front with the palm facing up to the ceiling. So resting the head down on the mat, extend the right arm out and have the two palms resting together. So what we're going to do is use this right arm to draw a semicircle above the head. So using the fingertips, we're going to start to take those fingertips up towards the top of the mat. And then what will happen is the upper body and the head will follow the arm. And then the arms will come out at right angles to the sides of the body. So when you get here, you come back the way that you came. So tracing those fingertips, tracing that semicircle with those fingertips. Now if you've got any shoulder issues, we'll just continue with a few of these on this side. If you do have any shoulder issues, you may find that that right hand has to lift off the ground at some point as you bring the arm out to the side. And if it does, just allow it to happen. Don't try and force it to stay on the ground. So just when the hands meet. So we'll just do a couple more on this side. And then no need to rush or hurry, but the next time that the two hands come together, you can release this activity. So really good opening up exercise for the shoulders. And then we're going to roll over onto our right side. I'm actually just going to flip to the other end of the mat so that my back isn't towards you. So coming over onto the right side now, we're going to extend the legs away. And then you're going to come up maybe onto the right elbow. You don't have to. If that's uncomfortable, extend that arm away and then just rest the head on the upper arm. So, two straight legs, one foot stacked on top of the other, nice straight line between the tip of the right elbow and the soles of the feet. This left hand can come and rest on the mat in front of you. And then we're going to lift the left leg. Don't forget, keep the toes pointing downwards. And if there's any pinching in the hip, lower the left leg slightly. Otherwise, just hold it there. And then let's have a little bend in the right knee, roll slightly back onto the right hip. Rotate the left toes now up to the ceiling. Keep that leg straight, keep the left foot flexed. And then take hold of the back of the left leg or the left foot, wherever is comfortable for you. And then just going to ease that left leg in towards you. And then we'll lower the left leg. 2 straight legs once again, 1 foot stacked on top of the other, and then we'll lift both the legs. And then keeping the knees and feet lifted off the ground, we're going to hug the knees in towards the chest, and once again use the inner thigh muscles to squeeze the knees in together. And then we'll stretch away the legs, lower both the legs, bend the left leg, place the left leg on the bent left leg on the mat in front of the straight right leg, and then let's lift the right leg. And then lower the right leg down. So staying on the right side now, we're going to work with our universal spinal twist. So have a bend in the knees now, and then we're going to rest the head down on the mat. Take the right hand out in front of you with the palm facing up towards the ceiling. So the left hand comes and sits on top, and then from here we're going to use the left fingertips this time to trace a semicircle up above the top of the head, and then coming into a beautiful big twist with the arms out wide at right angles to the sides of the body. And then once again coming back the way you came. So up above the top of the head with that semicircle until the 2 hands come back together. So remember, we'll just continue with a few more of these. And remember, if you have got any issues with your shoulder, the chances are that left hand may have to lift off the ground at some point, but don't worry if you have to do that. So really good way for opening up the shoulders, really working those shoulder joints. And then no need to rush or hurry, but the next time the 2 hands come together, you can release this activity. And then we're just going to roll over onto our back. So I'm going to work with some leg raises. We're going to do 5 single leg raises with the right leg, 5 singles with the left leg. And then, sorry, I'm just trying to see myself, see whether I'm out of shot or not. Maybe move down a little bit. And then if you're feeling strong, 5 doubles. However, if double leg raises aren't for you, for whatever reason, hug the knees in towards the chest, extend the legs up to the ceiling, and then bring them back into the chest again. Alternatively, you can bend the legs as you lower them, or just continue with single leg raises, whichever suits you best. But let's begin with the right leg now. So take a breath in, take the right leg up to the ceiling. And breathing out, lower that right leg most of the way down, just hover if you can. Breath in and lift. Breathing out to lower. Breath in to lift. Breathing out to lower. Breath in to lift. Breathing out to lower. Last one on this side, breath in to lift. And breathing out. So lower the right leg all the way down. Give the legs a little bounce. Then we're going to move on to work with the left leg now. So take a breath in and take the left leg up to the ceiling. And breathing out to lower. Breath in to lift. Breathing out to lower. Breath in to lift. Breathing out to lower. Breath in to lift. Breathing out to lower. One more, breath in to lift. And breathing out to lower the left leg all the way down. Give the legs a bounce. So double leg raises now if you're feeling strong. Otherwise, one of the alternatives or modifications, whichever is your preference. But if you're joining me, take a breath in, take both legs up to the ceiling. And then breathing out to lower. Hover if you can, if you can't, don't worry. Breath in to lift. And breathing out to lower. Breath in to lift. Breathing out to lower. Breath in to lift. Breathing out to lower. I think this is the last one. Breath in to lift. And breathing out to lower both the legs all the way down. Give the legs a little bounce. Let's hug the knees in towards the chest. Clasp the hands underneath the knees. If it suits your back, you can rock backwards and forwards a few times. If this is not for you for whatever reason, then you can just rock from side to side as we did at the beginning. But it's quite nice if it is okay for you. It's quite nice to ease out the back in the other direction. And then we can come up to a seated position. Okay, so we're going to come into Sukhasana, our cross-leg position. However, if this doesn't suit you for whatever reason, then please feel free to have the legs extended, nice big space between the heels. So we're going to work with a side stretch. Bring the left hand into the left hip crease and take the right hand out to the mat beside you. Take a breath in and straighten the spine. As you breathe out, slide the right hand away from you. Keep that left shoulder back. Look up at the ceiling if your neck allows, if not into the centre of the room. Finally, release that left arm up and across. Keep the arm straight. And then take a breath in, come all the way back up to centre. Right hand comes into the right hip crease, left hand out beside you. Breath in, straighten the spine. Breathing out, slide the left hand away, keep the right shoulder back. Right arm up and across. Look up under the armpit if the neck allows. And then take a breath in and come all the way back up to centre. So we're going to work with a twist now. Let's bring the right hand down behind the right hip and place the left hand on top of the right knee. Breath in to straighten the spine. As you breathe out, twist from the waist and turn to look over the right shoulder. Just hold it there. Keep breathing. Breath in to come back to centre. Same on the other side now. So left hand comes down behind the left hip. Bring the right hand and place it on the left knee. Breath in, straighten the spine. Breathing out, twist from the waist, turn to look over the left shoulder. Hold it there, keep breathing. And then take a breath in, come all the way back to centre. So we're going to uncross the legs now and take the feet nice and wide, if that works for you. Now, if that doesn't work for you, you can tuck the left foot in, bring it nice and close to the groin. What that does, it takes the pressure off the inner left thigh, so you're only stretching out one leg at a time. So making sure that you come up onto the sit bones, and if you really struggle with these wide leg postures, you can just get a cushion and place it just underneath the coccyx, and that will tip your upper body forward a little bit and stops you folding forward from the waist rather than the hips. So we're going to have the hands resting on the right leg first of all. You want the right toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in and straighten the spine, lift the crown of the head. As you breathe out, start to ease the right side of the chest down towards the right thigh. So just allow that muscle to become accustomed to the stretch. And then you can allow the breath to take you deeper and soften down if your body will allow you to. Now remember, you might be here and that might be as far as you can go, but that's absolutely fine. trying to fold forward from the hip as opposed from the waist. Some of us will be able to soften right down. If there's any pinching in the lower back, then you just bring the arms back in towards you as opposed to extending the hands out to take hold of the foot. And obviously remember to breathe, really important. And then take a breath in, lift the head, slowly start to come on back. So if you have that left foot tucked in, you need to extend the left leg away now. And if you did have that tucked in, you need to tuck the right foot in so that you're evenly balanced on both sides of the body. So having the upper body facing out over the left leg this time, hands resting on the left leg, left toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Breath in, straighten the spine. As you breathe out, start to come forward from the hips, starting to ease the left side of the chest down towards the left thigh. And once again, using the breath to help you soften down that little bit more if you are able. And then take a breath in, lift the head, slowly come on back up. Okay, so if you had that right foot tucked in, you need to untuck it now. Have both the legs extended away. And again, make sure that you're properly on the sit bones. So even if you want to move the fleshy bits with your hands, you can do that as well if you wish to. So legs extended out to the side of you as wide as is comfortable for you personally. Have the hands resting on the mat in front of you. So this is quite a big, strong stretch. So if you get to here and that's enough for you, then that's fine. It doesn't matter as long as you're not hurting yourself. So let's take a breath in, straighten the spine. Breathing out, starting to walk the hands away. Some of us will be able to come down to the elbows and some of us won't, and that's just the way it is, and it's absolutely fine. So we can use the breath to take us deeper in. So, or you can stay here, that might be enough for you, or you might stay here and that'll be enough for you there too. Otherwise, take a breath in, lift the head, push the chest forward, lengthen the spine. And then as you breathe out, you might find that you can soften down a little bit more. And then you just keep breathing. Take a breath in, lift the head, slowly start to walk the hands back in towards the body. So we're going to use these hands, pop them underneath the knees, hook them together, bring the knees back in together. Okay, so from here, we're going to come into the pose of the cat after I've checked the time. Bear with me. Okay, so coming into the pose of the cat now. So spreading the fingers out nice and wide. And then just making sure that the weight is evenly distributed throughout the whole of the hand, rather than just the heel of the hand. Middle finger pointing towards the short edge of the mat. Have a quick check down at the knees, make sure that they're underneath the hips. And then we're going to warm up the spine with a bit of cat stretching breath. So breathing out as you round the spine, drop the head, and then breathing in, arching the spine, drop the waist, lift the head, lift the tailbone. So breathing out, rounding, and breathing in, arching. And then just continue with your own breathing rate. Don't forget, eyes can be open or closed, whichever is your preference. And then we can release this activity with the spine and come into flat backed cat, our neutral position. So we're going to move from here, transition into downward facing dog. So let's separate the feet just slightly, and then we're going to tuck the toes under and then push back into down dog. I'm going to come forward slightly so that I'm still in the camera angle. Okay, so we can walk the dog when we get here, so bending one leg and straightening the other. So just easing out the hamstrings and the backs of the calf muscles, the Achilles tendons. So just easing those heels down as far as they will comfortably go. Don't force them if they don't want to go. Okay, then come up onto tiptoes, bend the knees now. And then using the hands and the arms, we're going to push the upper body, bringing the chest as close to the thighs as is comfortable for us. Quite strong on the wrists and the shoulders, so just being careful. And then keeping that upper body where it is now, we're going to straighten the legs. Attempt to roll the heels down. Don't worry if they don't get there. And then from here, let's take the right leg up towards the ceiling. 2 straight legs now, coming into 3-legged dog. And then we're going to bend the right knee, bring it as close to the right elbow as we can. And then take it back out behind us, back into 3-legged dog. Lift the head, look between the hands. Right foot comes through to the front of the mat. So drop that left knee, flatten the left foot as we come into equestrian pose. So ideally you want a nice right angle between that right shin and the mat, and then the hands at either side of the right foot. So we're going to move from here into our crescent moon pose. So just bringing the upper body upright now. So let's take the palms of the hands, join them together up above the head. And then we can lunge forward with the hips. And then we're going to lower the hands down towards the heart centre and come into a twist. So we want the left elbow on the outer edge of the right thigh. So left elbow to right thigh. And then you can stay here in this posture with the knee dropped. Alternatively, tuck the left toes under. Whoops, she says. And you can straighten the left leg. And then drop that left knee if you've had it lifted. And then we can bring the hands back either side of the right foot. Tuck the left toes under.
Step back into down dog. Okay. So we can do the same on the other side now. So let's take the left leg up to the ceiling, coming into three-legged dog on the other side. And then bend the left knee, bring it as close to the left elbow as you can without touching the ground. Extend the left leg out behind you, back into three-legged dog. And then lift the head, look between the hands. Left foot steps through to the front of the mat. Drop the right knee, flatten the right foot. So coming back into equestrian pose. So remember, you want a nice right angle between the left shin and the mat. So if that's not the case at the moment, you can just shuffle the toes forward a little bit and that'll bring that leg forward. So lift the head, look straight in front of you, soft gaze. So we're now going to come into crescent moon. So bringing that upper body upright once again. Bring the palms of the hands together and lunge forward with the hips. And then lower the hands down to the heart centre. Right elbow to left thigh this time. Right elbow to left thigh. And you can stay here, or you can tuck the right toes under and straighten the right leg. And then let's bring the right knee down if you've had it lifted. So hands either side of the left foot. Tuck the right toes under. Step back into down dog once again. And then from here, we're going to swing through into upward facing dog. Roll the toes over. So the pubic bone is not touching the mat. We've got almost like a raised cobra. And then just resting that pubic bone down, rolling the front of the body down. Bring the hands to either side of the chest, so just underneath the shoulders. Bring the forehead to the mat. And then as you take a breath in, lift the head and shoulders coming into a gentle cobra. And then breathing out, rolling the upper body smoothly down. So breath in, coming up. And breathing out, coming down. We'll do two more of these, so breath in as we come up. And breathing out, coming down. Last one, breath in. And breathing out, coming all the way back down, forehead to the mat. Keep those hands where they are now. We're going to push back into Balasana, a child's pose. So you can either make a little pillow for two fists and rest the head on the pillow. Alternatively, you can bring the head down to the mat. Take the arms either side of the feet so the shoulders are draped over the knees. So really rounding out the spine, a lovely counter posture for your back bends there. And then slowly uncurling, coming all the way back up to a seated position. And then let's come into a comfortable seated position now. It doesn't have to be cross-legged, it can be however is comfortable for you. And then we're going to start to roll the shoulders. It doesn't have to be back, it can be forwards, because whichever way you go, you're going to go in the opposite direction. And then let's go back the other way. And then relax the shoulders down. So let's take a big breath in and squeeze the shoulders up as close as we can to the ears. And then let them fall away with a big old sigh. So breath in and squeeze. Let's do one more. And then we're going to drop the chin down to the chest. Let's take the chin up to the right shoulder and take it back down to the chest, and then up to the left shoulder, back down to the chest, back up to the right shoulder, back down to the chest, back up to the left shoulder, back down to the chest, and then we'll lift the head. Let's take the right ear over to the right shoulder and bring it back to centre. Left ear to left shoulder and back to centre. Right ear to right shoulder, back to centre. Left ear to left shoulder and back to centre. Let's turn our face all the way down to the right. Bring it back to centre and all the way around to the left. Come back to centre, once more round to the right, and back to centre, and once more round to the left, and back to centre. So I'd like you to invite you now just to take your place down on your mat in your best version of Shavasana. So maybe stretching away the legs if the lower back allows, or the knees bent, take the feet wide, allow the knees to fall in together. But if the legs are extended, make sure that the legs are nice and relaxed and soft. Have a nice big space between the heels, just allow the feet to flop apart. So remember having the arms just a little way away from the sides of the body, palms turned up towards the ceiling, fingers are lightly curled. And then if you wish to, you can lift the head, look down the centre midline of the body, rest the head back down on the mat, so bringing the head in alignment with the spine, lengthening the back of the neck, tucking in the chin. I'm sure you already have, but just in case, eyes gently closed. And then just bringing the awareness back to the breath. So just the spontaneous, natural breath, flowing freely in and out through the nostrils. No need to count or control this breath now, just allow it to happen naturally. And then just tuning in with the body, seeing how it feels after your practice now. And then becoming aware of the physical aspects of the breath, so feeling the breath in the lower belly rising and falling as you continue to breathe. And then moving the awareness up to the rib cage and just allowing the body to tune in to the sensation of the ribs expanding and contracting as you carry on breathing.
And then just moving the awareness up to the top chest, the clavicular area, and just tuning in to the very gentle rise and fall of the top chest with every breath. And so it's nearly time to end this final relaxation. So just starting to wake the body up really gently at first, just wiggling the fingers and wiggling the toes. And then maybe circling the ankles and circling the wrists. And maybe you can wake up the neck. Just roll the head from side to side a couple of times. Maybe you even fancy a stretch and a yawn. And then keeping the eyes closed for the time being, just roll over onto your preferred side and just stay there for a little bit longer. And then in your own time, in your own way, just open your eyes and make your way back up to a seated position. And so we'll finish. Om Shanti. And thank you. So thank you all once again for your continued support. It really does mean a lot. Still not sure when I'll be going back to work, so I'll keep you posted. And yeah, have a lovely rest of your evening, whatever you're doing, and have a lovely day tomorrow. Let's hope the sun shines on us once again. And I will see you here live at 5 tomorrow. Thanks then. Bye.